working.
Yes, it is. At the same time, I will also be putting that up online on our website so you guys can see that for the price comparison chart when it's ready. So
The fumes aren't nearly as bad.
yeah,
Can you tell the difference?
yeah, it smells better in here.
Well, I just walked in from out there, and usually it hits you.
Oh, I know. When I was running the mill coming back in here, it was,
I apologize, you guys. We're kind of like pretending like you aren't here. Okay, you are. So let me explain. We've been trying to figure out what to do with the fumes. I mean, we're down here in a closed-in room. We got cross ventilation, but the ABS, not the PLA. PLA was no big deal, and truthfully, the nylon wasn't bad. I mean, I didn't get high or anything. The ABS, different story. Burning eyes, sore throat, not good. Probably my PO2 level is a little bit low. Anyway, let that said, I picked up a little air purifier today, and it seems to be helping quite a bit, which I would not have expected. But I have it sitting not too far from the printer, and as you know, we're printing right now. So
let's go ahead and show them.
What, where we're at?
No.
The purifier?
That's
they want to see the print.
That's the purifier right there, and that's how far away it is from our engine.
Here, I would think they'd want to see the print.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. Does anybody want to see the print?
Of course. That's what they came here for.
Okay, so you're in one of the fill layers right now. We have to keep away because of the stick. We owe an awful lot to Greg. He has implemented so many algorithms for us without me even knowing it. So this thing is doing things I didn't believe was possible. I kind of like the motions that this thing does. I don't know if we're going to get some sewing machine action, but I think we do a little later on in the build. When you guys see this thing doing this sewing machine action, you're going to go, that's not possible.
It was doing it just a second ago, wasn't it?
No, that was the Z-axis, believe it or not, going up and down.
Ah, okay.
It actually stitches the little fills. So, anyway. So, let's see how we're doing down here. Let's see if it's hanging tough or what's going on. I'm going to get down here. Everyone can take a look down the line.
It's kind of hard to see with a white
Is it? Okay. How about there?
So that's better. For one of the lines, yeah.
Alright. So, we'll come back.
Okay.
It should be... I don't even know how long this part says. Oh, it says 42 minutes left on this part.
That'll give us plenty of time. So, okay. So, thank you, Plexus314, for asking that question. Nylon sticks well. He also says that nylon sticks well to canvas. Interesting.
Canvas. Well, they said wood, and I'm thinking, I don't know. I really don't know what I would use to laminate. I didn't want to put a block of wood up there, but I guess I could.
Yeah. Although
a plywood build platform.
Maybe. We'll try it. Plexus, thank you.
Yes.
We'll definitely try it. So
maybe we should glue canvas to some acrylic.
He says, I use artist canvas non-bleach bonded to an aluminum plate using goop wood and press board and press board do not work. Oh, wood and press board do not work well. So
okay.
Thank you. He says also print polycarbonate on the canvas bed at 45 degrees. C. Nylon doesn't need a heated bed, but you may need to heat it if you get lots of curl. And very nice. Libre is a good app. Yes. Libre,
we're using it all the time.
Yeah.
Everything's modeled in it for us. Our only regret is the 3D Systems bottom, but so far actually they haven't done anything bad with them. So thank you 3D Systems for supporting our favorite CAD practice.
Yeah. So let's see.
I was actually going to draw the part on Libre live tonight, and I didn't realize what time the broadcast was. So it's drawn and it's sliced. And that part I started after my sandwich, so I'm going to study and start it till 6:30.
Yeah.
So about 2 hours ago it was a concept, and now it's being printed. And isn't that what this is all about? I mean, normally I would go to the machine shop to make the part, but in this case I drew this part to be printed, not to be machined. So it will be interesting to see if it sticks long enough to become a real part. That's cool to watch it go up and down, isn't it?
It is.
Only a ball screw could have that much fun.
Very true. Let's see. Egoin says, go to the top of the building, drop box, open box, see if printer works, repeat.
The egg drop, huh? That
Wow.
is probably a little more radical we're looking toward.
Very nice. Very nice.
We probably only have a $1 packaging budget, too.
Let's see. Oh, very good question, Powers USA. He said, last week you mentioned hob nut versus hob bolt. Which one is being used tonight?
Hob shaft.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm happy to report that with one little refinement, it started working quite well.
Mm-hmm.
And
so no more use of the hob.
I'm not going to say no more use
No
of the
more
hob
use?
nut,
Okay.
but I have for the last 40 hours of printing been printing with a hob shaft. And there was a little secret, little trick, but it was really a design flaw on our part. Flaw is not a good word. Let's say it's a short-sightedness. It was a flaw. Come on. So we figured out what we'd done wrong and tuned it, and there you go.
Yep. So, oh, Egoin J, cutting boards. He asks for those cutting boards that you have in your hand.
Actually, they are cutting boards, but they're not very stiff. I thought we might be able to try some double-sided tape action. You know what, we're looking for all kinds of things. One of the biggest problems and biggest disappointments to me is the lack of recipe, discrete, detailed recipe information. I mean, I am certain we're going to make some cookbook videos because
So good. Well, that not only cookbook videos, but also a way for people to share their recipes as well. I think. You know,
Agreed.
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, like here we found out that if you fill it more, it draws together faster.
Yeah.
So if you can handle the voids in the center, then don't fill it so much. We found out that if you need a solid part, you got to cook that sucker. If it's ABS, you better get it up to 100 degrees C if it's a big part, or it ain't gonna stick.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. We're experimenting with how things that you have control of at design time, radiusing the outside corner to reduce the stress in them, things like that. That makes a big difference. We want to qualify some desiccant bags and things like that because the humidity is a big issue for us here in the South. I don't think Arizona would be such a big deal, but just for what it's worth.
maybe 2 weeks out of the year. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, they have a monsoon season in the summertime now for most swimming pools, but
Nice way of putting it.
so I keep running in and out because we're actually running our CNC right now, and about every 5 to 7 minutes I have to go flip the parts. And in case you're wondering, we're making more of the Y-axis for the System 30s.
Yep.
So I think we're up to about 14 right now. We were supposed to have all 40 done on Wednesday, and they were supposed to be painted on Thursday and back here for assembly. And yeah, in a perfect world. Anyway,
Okay.
I'll let the big guy talk to you. I'm out to do my day job. I'll be right back.
All right, guys. So let's see. Egoin J says, I'll take a look at at what you put down for the pricing setup. I like that. Actually, I do like that quite a bit. And canvas and wooden plies that sticks to cellulose. Oh, okay. Okay, very good, very good. He also says, E1J also says, hey, that's how we tested our shipping shipping at work once. Very nice. Yeah, the typical thing, same thing. FedEx is the same thing as over at UPS. It's just the same thing over at USPS, which is if you can drop a box from 3 feet, 3 to 4 feet high, and it survives, then you're going to be okay. I liken it that if you can halfway throw the box from 3 to 4 feet down on the ground, and whatever you have on the inside survives, all the package materials, it still has a chance of being broken. So, having worked in that environment, I've seen forklifts go through big giant screen TVs before. So, if it can be broken, it will be broken in a warehouse. Yeah, In other words, make sure you have insurance in whatever you ship. Not to say that it happens all the time, but it does happen. Let's see. Mine, you also get stuck in one. Okay. Oh yeah. You get stuck it in a hot box to see if the gel packs would hold temperature. That's a good thing to do. We'll try that too. And put it in the freezer to see if the contents would freeze. I don't think we're gonna have a problem with that. Heat might be an issue. So, most of this is shipping information that EJ has been sharing with us. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Freezing drugs would be bad for you guys, yes. So, that's not the kind of drugs you're thinking about.
You picked the wrong team for that.
Throwing the box was fun, though. It was a group effort. I can imagine. Wow. You're getting a little bit of a lip on the back side and the rear side of it.
I think the fill's too hot still.
Okay.
I fudged it over thinking that the .35 would be, you know, too much void, but I think it compensated in the code. So.
Okay.
Right now I've got it at .11. It should be .095.
Okay.
So I'm about 15% too much material.
Okay. It's all good.
It looks like it may have hung up on one of the overshoots.
Alright. Alrighty.
I don't understand these algorithms yet, but...
Well, that is the reason why in the latter half of this year we're going to be working on our own slicer. So, that is correct. We're going to be doing our own slicing and for our machine. So,
I mean, a lot of what this guy did works well. I mean,
oh yeah.
A lot of it's very good. And you know, you can't just write a slicer for each individual part. So, I don't want to sound like I'm saying anything derogatory whatsoever.
No.
The guy's got total respect for me for what he's done.
Oh yeah.
So he's a far better man than I am, I think. That said, we feel like we need it a little bit more optional.
Yeah.
And what I need is an interactive slicer, one that I can go layer by layer and pick strategies layer by layer and get through the rough parts. Most of the stuff isn't that tough, but I know that is not necessarily what everybody's looking for. Most people are looking for something else, but just click and print.
True. Interesting. So, because we did spring this on you guys, and the fact that this is not just a Dan cast tonight, it's a regular broadcast. Does anybody have any other questions that are out there? Oh! While you're typing in your questions, this coming Labor Day weekend, which is going to be was it August the 31st, 1st of September, 2nd of September, 3rd of September, I believe. Let me just go ahead and double check that. Yeah, no, the 30th, 31st, 1st, and 2nd. On the 1st and the 2nd, which is going to be a Sunday and Monday, we're going to be holding a couple training classes. So all the local backers who are here, or if you guys are in the area and would like to come down, we're going to be holding those classes during that time. The whole point is for you to get familiar with the 3D printer and get you learning how to do tramming, learning how to set up your 3D printer, how to do just a light bit of maintenance, which may or may not be required depending upon how many people bump into your printer. Meaning, you know, they jump on the darn thing. What do you do? So, and how do you get it back to the correct settings in order to print? So we'll be holding, and please understand, these are free classes that we're going to be holding here in this shop, so that you guys can get familiar with it, and at the very end of it, you'll have gone through your very first 3D print, so that when it comes to 3D printing, typically the very first print that you ever do is the hardest, is the toughest.
That's right. The first kiss is the toughest. Cold still already.
So how are the systems coming along other than arm milling?
That was my pet chicken. We're doing fine. The two parts that are critical that had to go through the milling were the Y-axis and the hot heads. And I've got the blanks out there, and the hot head should go up first thing in the morning or by 10 or 11. And then we're going to go ahead and run through 100 or 150 of them. The first ops were all done with the Gibbs, and all that's been done for 2-3 months now, I guess. But we held off because we kept changing the design until we were happy. I think we're pretty happy right now. Listen, there was something we were going to tell you guys. Do you mind if I tell about the lifetime discount?
Absolutely.
We haven't put it out in writing yet, but Dan and I were talking. We always talk. Usually it's about food, but this time it was about the printer and the Kickstarters and how much we appreciate what you guys have done. And we had decided to give a lifetime just for Kickstarters and only for accessories, not for second and third and fourth printers. But repairs, that's never going to happen, but accessories, things like that, heads, we're going to give a lifetime discount of 20% off of list price forever.
Going direct from us.
Yeah, you have to buy direct from us because what about fifth printers? So that's one thing.
Yes.
We just wanted to, there'll be an email sent out to you guys over the next week about that. Probably about the same time you get the surveys for the print heads, but that was one thing. And I know, I hope everybody understands that as the printers go, they print. I mean, that's a reality. But the software is something we're working on every day. I just added code to it today. I probably worked 6 hours on the code. So it's not that we aren't very far along. It's that the state of things can be lifted up so much higher. And so there's a lot of things that we will continually do. And I think you'll find that about once a month you're going to want to be updating your firmware and your Repitrail, which whatever it will become.
Oh, we didn't. I'm not sure if we told them that in the past broadcast.
Which was
that they can update their firmware.
Oh yeah, we did mention.
Oh, we did?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. We're now able to. You don't need any more JTAG or anything like that. You can download the file from the internet, and you can flash the new firmware in both the motion controller and in
your hotheads.
Yeah, in your hotheads.
Which is this guy right here. There you go.
Yeah.
So thank you very much to Greg.
And those,
Yes.
yeah, oh yeah, without Greg it
Big.
wouldn't have been possible. I mean, probably without Greg the printer wouldn't have been possible. Or let me put it this way, I would have got it done, but
It would be
you would have been hearing from me a lot longer time.
Yeah.
He got features done that we wouldn't have been able to accomplish in this time frame for sure.
Yeah.
So thank you, Greg.
So, yeah.
Also, Greg's mother is very ill, and that's probably personal, but just remember, if you guys pray, say something nice for him. And if you don't, think something nice for him, because he is a true gentle spirit as far as I'm concerned, and he's been a friend to me throughout all this. So if there was some way to absorb some of the family pain, I'd gladly take it, but this is one of those things he's got to do. And blessings on him, and if his mother's able to hear this broadcast, our thoughts and our prayers are with you, for real. So on a pleasant subject, what else? There was a good thing that came up.
I'll go do the.
You gonna flip the part?
My
Okay.
turn.
See, he always sticks me with the tough stuff. So in case you're wondering what we're printing over there, we're printing a mounting block for 4 of these because this is supposed to be one of the versions of the material sensor that we're going to try out. We got the micro switches in. They came in on Monday as promised. Tyde's been amazing. I mean, I don't know how he works his magic with DHL, but God bless the guy, times 10. So what we didn't do is, because I've been working day and night trying to get that stupid mill fixed, which I did, but we didn't get these things made up yet this week, and I really wanted to have it mounted on the first of the System 30s if possible. It's fingernail time on that one. I'm sure by the end of the week we'll have this refined and we'll be able to start installing these on the systems. And so that's what we're making. We're making a block to test mount this to make sure the ABS can go through the hole. Hutch made a video. I think you guys might find this interesting. A lot of things printing oriented we got done this week because we spent a lot of time printing. One of the things that when we went to do this design, questions always came up. How long does it take to change the filament? I got to tell you, there's a big advantage to having a hob shaft. And I think he put some pictures up for you, but if he didn't, he's going to, because I saw him photograph them. Literally, you only waste about 3 or 4 millimeters of material when you change from one material to another. That's it. So, and it takes, I think I did it in under 2 minutes to change from PLA to ABS, and from ABS to nylon. Of course, that doesn't count the 4 additional minutes to reheat the head back up again, but the actual act of changing the material, very, very easy, very straightforward, and I was very pleased with the final result. So I was just telling him about the video you made of me changing the material.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh.
And I'm hoping he dresses it up a little, put some lipstick on me or something so that it looks better on YouTube, but he can definitely post that.
Yeah, well, we got the few small.
Okay. Here's the money shot right here. So I am printing with a larger orifice this week. Someone asked a very good question: am I printing with a larger orifice? I'm printing with a larger orifice because I was tired of waiting for 500 years to find out if my material would stick or not. So I moved the orifice up to 0.6 millimeters.
You went to, you're bad, man.
My kind of guy. I'm going to buy you a sandwich one day. We can discuss that further detail. Until then, we started with blue material, which was very moist, and then this is how much blue material it took before it became green. And the green is the new material. So as you can see, there was not a whole lot of material in that printer. And I'm going to say about 3 millimeters on the input, 3 or 4, and the output was, you know, that much long. Not much.
Now here's another thing, guys. We went from ABS to nylon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There wasn't a lot that hold on, there you go.
Although I did cook the nylon.
Refocus. There it goes. So there wasn't a very little. There was just a small bit of the ABS that went to the nylon. So not very much. So you can go from ABS to nylon in this.
The gentleman who created this nylon, you should read his blog. He has written some very informative information, talking about fillers and normal, like fishing string. Whatever you do, don't try and print with fishing string nylon. It's got so many additives in it, you will have less hair than me when you're done if you're still breathing.
Yeah, and don't use weed whacker wire.
Oh no, for sure not.
Because it produces HCN, which is hydrogen cyanide. Not good stuff.
Now, if your neighbor wants to borrow your printer, put the weed whacker in it. Because that's the only way you're going to get the printer back. But otherwise, get the good stuff. And it's not that expensive. Anyway, I was impressed with the nylon, and I was impressed with the printing experience as far as lack of fumes. And now that we have some good information about canvas and things like that. We'll see if we can come up with a bell platform. I'm sure we can get a bonded canvas. That makes perfect sense.
Oh yeah. One other thing that we didn't want to say about the nylon is that when you first put it in there and it comes out, if it's too hot, you will get lots of puffs of air and water vapor, and
like popcorn.
Yeah,
it sounds just like popcorn going off. Little tiny popcorn.
I mean, it's pretty rapid. So
then drop the temp about 10 to 15 degrees, and it will start to clear up. Increase your flow rate. The gentleman who wrote the raft, what was his name? Is it Talman? Talman?
Yes, I think it's, well, the name of the company is Talman 3D. I'm guessing that his name is Talman.
Well, for lack of better words, Dr. Talman, whoever you are, it was a pleasure reading what you wrote.
Yes.
It was very well written and very concise and clear, in my opinion. I like getting information that way. He mentioned that you really need to run several skirts. And because it takes a while to clear out the nozzle, and we're running 2 skirts because we're using exactly the same recipe we did with the ABS, except for I tweaked the temperature down by about 15 degrees off of what we printed the ABS with, and this printed just absolute. Well, you could see the finish. It was very
it was beautiful,
very nice finish on the skin. So the thing of it is different materials have different fills rates, different flow rates, and it's the thing we're finding out more and more. One of the cool things, though, is that we're able to program each head's flow rate independently, again, thanks to Greg, and that means that we can actually set up multiple materials simultaneously. I can make you one out of nylon, one out of ABS, same bat time, same bat channel. Yeah. I'm looking forward to making that actually happen, but what's going on with our print? We had one shift in the y-axis.
It appears that it's going to the next level, which is the part that's
good. I can still test this part. That's good. And I'm going to drop the fill rate. Little bit understanding this is a new part and a new way to get that thing. The good thing is that we didn't have to start and stop the printer very many times. As a matter of fact, in this case, it started printing the first time, so we got that part we know what we're doing. And I'm hoping to give that experience to other people. Unfortunately, it did not stick. So sticking is good. Did you show them the acrylic stick?
Oh yeah. It's pretty much going to take an act of God in order to get the thing to come off.
Well,
it's ridiculous.
If anybody knows where we can get acrylic tape, we would be your new best friend.
That was the thing that I was going to talk about earlier, guys, which was thinking.
Oh, we're not keeping any of these secrets.
Well, we were going to test it out first and see if it worked. So before everyone else goes out there buying stuff. But
I want to go on record on this one thing.
Okay.
It has been so frustrating to get information concise, definitive on this is a recipe, do this, do this, do this, do this level. Man, there is no way I want to keep this a secret. I don't care whose machine you're using. This needs to be shared, and it needs to be shared realistically and as accurately as possible.
Oh, I agree. I just wasn't saying. I wasn't saying that. What I was saying is that we don't want to, say, well, this is what we're going to try, and you guys can go out there and try it as well. I'd rather not waste their time if it turns out something
yeah. I'm not going to tell them what a recipe is, but once we figure it out, you can be sure I'll put it all together.
Oh yeah, of course.
This might be a disaster, guys, but if you want to see, we'll be glad to take a look at it. Like I said, it's our very first.
Let's give another look.
Yeah, very first shot at this. So I might change the fill rate, and I'm definitely going to change the flow rate. And actually, don't be put off by the internal texture. When you get 100% fill, which we do every 4 layers on this one, then you will see that it has a little overflow on it, and that's because we have the wrong material flow rate. I guessed a little bit high. So I brought it back down, and ooh, that was a nice little zigzag action. Very interesting patterns.
Yep. Well, that's nicer for you.
You know what? I'm not sure this. I'm not sure how